Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon on the Saturday of the FAI Indoor World Cup in Charleroi. It's all over and I have the most important man of the whole competition here. Without him, there would be no scores on the scoreboard, I'm afraid. Wolfgang Dulla. Insiders call him Wolfie.
Yes, that's true. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, my pleasure. And Wolfgang is he's chief judge of the whole thing, right? Of the formation skydiving.
FS and VFS.
Yeah. Wolfie, you have a long history in formation skydiving, and many people do not know much about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell us about it. It began, of course, as a skydiver and as a four-way competitor.
Yeah, right. So I started in 1991 as a skydiver, and in 1997 I got an invitation to an 8-way team at first. It's an Austrian 8-way team called Mama Gamma, and I jumped there for about 4 years. And in 2000 I did both 8-way and 4-way because I started in the team 4 Matrix. It's also an Austrian skydiving team, the national team at this time, from 2000 till 2004. And we have been, I think, 8 times national champion, and we participated, I think, 3 or 4 world championships. And after that, I started judging before on the nationals, on our Austrian nationals, and I did the evaluation for FAI on 2010 in Russia, and supposed to be 10 years later on 2020, but to be a chief judge in Russia again after 10 years, but it was 1 year later, so it was in 2021 I was chief judge in Siberia, in Tanai, and so at this time it's second one as a chief judge here for this indoor meeting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't know you were chief judge in Russia as well.
Yeah, I stand in because Rina was supposed to be chief judge there, but because of the COVID situation, she cannot leave the country. So shortly before the meet, I jumped in as a chief judge in 10A.
Are you still jumping?
No, I quit jumping at 2005 after our team stopped jumping, and that's it.
I remember it was a pretty tragic thing that brought the team to an end, right?
No, not really.
Oh, not then?
No. The tragic thing, what you think about it, I think it's in the year 2000 on the 8-way. We had a big accident on our 8-way at our training in the States in Florida.
Gamma.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember that, but I didn't remember the details anymore. What happened when and all.
Yeah.
So you know that better, of course. Yeah. So comparing the development of formation skydiving competition from you on the competitor side to where we are now, what do you see? What is coming? What do you see looking back, and what do you see is coming?
I think these many tunnels right now, also in Europe and all over the world, making the competition and also the performance much better, and the standards are very high. They weren't that high, let's say 10 years before or 15 years ago. There's only, I think, one tunnel in D-Land, and all went to this tunnel. Also we did as a 4-way team. These are the first tunnel times there, and the tunnel in D-Land. And after that, a few years later, a lot of tunnels came up in Europe as well. So since 3 or 4 years, we also have in Austria, in Vienna, a tunnel where we do now our Austrian meets. But it's a huge progression.
And even in this area here where we are right now in Charleroi, like within an hour of driving distance, there are several wind tunnels.
Yes, right.
Yeah, the progression has been amazing. Has the judging become easier or more difficult? I mean, the pace has gone up dramatically.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you say the progression of the performance and the standards have gone up too. Is that evening out? Like, so the difficulty of judging that is about the same, or has it become easier or more difficult to judge?
So on one hand, it becomes a little bit easier because the performance of the teams are getting better and better, and you see the rhythm of the teams. It's easier for us to judge if you see the really top teams. They have a good rhythm and they give us points and points, a lot of points. For us, it's much harder to judge a team right in the middle of the competition. They try to get really fast, but they are not so clean. So that's really hard to judge for us.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
They're trying to copy the top pace of the top teams.
Sure, they have to, but
well, it's good if you stop them because they have to be clean at the same time. It's easy to go fast.
Yeah, sure.
But it's difficult to go fast and clean at the same time.
Yeah, and as a judge, you want to see all the grips, and they have to present the grips well. And the top teams are really doing good on this, and the middle teams try to get very fast and they get sloppy on the grips, and so that's not really easy to judge.
Let's just touch one more topic quickly, which is a very important topic, and this is where I at least hear the most complaints. In the old days, there were often complaints about busts, and all that kind of stuff. That's not really there any longer, so it speaks for the quality what you just talked about. But then there are complaints about the speed of the judge. Significant, very often, including here, the posting of the scores are significantly behind, the next performance. And the teams don't like this any longer because nobody likes it anyway.
Sure.
Because there's strategy and tactics and all that involved, and if you don't know what you have.
Yeah.
So what's the future of that?
Yeah, the future of that, the thing now is that we are judging on a tunnel competition like today. We had in total 52 teams overall, what we have to judge. And we had 2 full panels. That means 3 judges and 1 event judge on one panel. So we had 2 panels judging all the time. And we have 2 alternate judges and 1 alternate EJ. To rotate, and I think if you have a certain amount of teams competing, we should have 3 panels, 3 full panels, especially in the tunnel meet where you have every 90 seconds a new jump. We should have 3 complete or full panels of judges and 3 alternates so that we can provide all these results much quicker. So if you have 3 panels working all the time and rotating, then it will be much faster.
Yeah, there's discussion out there about live judging and downsizing the panels, rather instead of how many are you, 5 or 3 per panel?
We have 3 judges and 1 EJ.
Okay. So anyhow, that is already downsized anyway because we used to have 5 judges in the panel. Yeah. And then there's discussion about live judging. Is that all being discussed within the judging community?
Yes, of course. We also take a look on these live judgings as well because some judges already did live judging. Exactly. But at the end of the day, right now, I don't think it's really fair for the teams because, in my opinion, I rather want to have the right result for the team, not a fast result, and a lot of mistakes in there from the judging side. Because if you are judging live, then you have only one view, maybe a review, and that's it. And so I think that's not the right direction.
Well, I think the combination of fast and correct, that's what we are all aiming for. And I mean, there's still at least. I mean, I'm just collecting and recovering or reciting, and there is a lot of the top competitors. They say they are mistakes all the time anyway, this way or that way, not to the advantage. Or this is just mistakes are always there, but if there's a natural balance between accepting mistakes, judging mistakes, team mistakes, whatever, and then the speed of it, aiming that direction, that's what I hear it says, right?
But you see, right now we are on a level that most of the jumps came out of the tunnel from the top teams are 30 plus jumps, right? And a few years ago, let's say 3 or 5 years ago, 30 was the highest score. And now we have most of the jumps are 30 and they are going up to 45, 50. So I really don't believe that anybody can do a live judging on a 40, 45 or 50 point skydive.
Well, we talk more about this, and it's just the stuff that is in there right now out there, what people are talking about. And is it easier? I mean, it must be easier to judge outdoor competition than indoor competition. So maybe that should also, since this is separating, kind of anyway. Maybe those are all two different subjects: indoor judging, outdoor judging.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Duni, thank you very much.
Very welcome.
Vielen Dank
Danke
for
dir.
the time that you took for that.
Thank you. Danke.
And I'll see you at some of the next events.
Absolutely.
Thank you.